I'd like to think after the first episode of this season, you sensed my confidence in the squad that we built. Well, currently unbeaten this season, and we're currently top of the Premier League, so maybe that confidence was justified. How doing, everybody, and welcome to part 16 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we've got a league game against Norwich and an EFL Cup game against Manchester City. And if you're excited to see how we get on in both of those games, do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the Football Manager nonsense coming out of this face right here. Since you were last with us, it's been exceptional. We have been so good. Looking at the schedule, it's a sea of green with the occasional bit of yellow. It's been great. We followed up the two wins on the first games of the season. There's a very noisy vehicle going past our house. With a draw against Crystal Palace just before the end of the transfer window. In fact, I think the transfer window actually ended after the Tottenham game, if I can remember correctly. By the way, Spurs game, need to show you this. It's going to make the video a little bit longer, but it's worth it because I'm sure this is the goal. Pinamonti and Cole Palmer combining like you've never seen them. It's Jack Wilshere for Arsenal-esque. If you know the goal I'm on about, you know the goal I'm on about. I really hope it's this one. It's not quite as good as that, but this is brilliant. Kushiyara gets it to Palmer, and then that little bit of passing there is just so good. I was really impressed with it. It went to an offside decision. It got given. I might be the only one impressed with it, but I stand by it. Next game after that, a 9-goal thriller, 6-3 against Liverpool. Pinamonti with a hat-trick and a just ridiculous game. We then battered Red Star 5-0 in the Champions League, beat Swansea 2-0 in the league. Leeds United fell away in the EFL Cup 3-1. A hat-trick for Tommy Gardner after I think he came off the bench against Fulham. Anderlecht was a bit of a struggle, 1-1. But then we battered Leicester, beat West Ham, battered Barcelona last time out. Yeah. And that brings us to today's video. I mean, the EFL Cup 4th round against Manchester City is a bit of a kick in the balls because I quite want to win a trophy this season, and some of our players are expecting us to. So that's a tough game to get past. But then we have just beat Barcelona, so who knows? But we have to beat Norwich to get there first. In terms of transfers, I don't think we did anything major after we last saw you. Thinking about it, no, we didn't actually. A couple of young players went out on loan. Didn't bring anyone else in. The squad is as it was. Tactically, we have changed things ever so slightly. It's just in the midfield too. So, we've got a playmaker again, and it's Tapia, and he has been pretty good. He's not necessarily getting assists all the time, but in terms of form, he's hovering around a 7 for the last 5 games. He scored in the last game, actually, but he's been looking really good. And he and Lavia are forming a partnership. I have got Lavia on the bench at the moment, Enzo Feta, who can play as a ball-winning midfielder. He's getting some game time now. The playmaking role is the one we've got the problem with. However, to be fair to him, Alan Tamara can play there. So really, he probably should be on the bench. We'll pop him there for Lewis Murray. But this is the 11 that we're hopefully going to be getting 3 points from Norwich with. It is Hoyenhal in goal, Jimenez, Crespo, Badiashile and Aitnouri in defence. Tapia and Feta in the midfield with Lethan, Veloso and Febre supporting Pinamonti up front. Has to be said, first point, Hoyenhal. He's not perfect, but he's a young goalkeeper. And to be fair, he's kept a bunch of clean sheets. He's starting to look a bit more confident. You watch, I've jinxed him now. But he's looking better. He's certainly looking better. He's certainly not looking any worse than Lunin was at Lunin's best. He has had a couple of mistakes here and there. And there's a couple of games where I was a bit frustrated with him conceding goals. But then there's a couple where he couldn't really be helped. Because I'm so obsessed with having a bad goalkeeper, every time a goal goes in, I kind of go, oh, for God's sake. But sometimes it just happens, doesn't it? It just goes in, and there's not a lot you can do about it. So it is what it is. We'll hopefully see him continue decent form today. That's the plan. Maybe it won't happen, I don't know. Jay Lethan as well, starting to look like a decent player. He's certainly not quite at Premier League quality, but every now and then he can put a bit of magic out there. He's scored goals, he's assisted them, he is looking pretty good. Aitnouri is more than capable as a backup left back as well. Badiashile isn't being held back by the mark tightly trait that he's got quite as badly as I thought he would. And Febre hasn't been superb, but he has made a difference. He has made a contribution when we've used him. So the squad at the moment, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. The only issue we've got, which I didn't mention actually, is that James Price is out with an injury. It was a 3-month injury. He should be due back in the next month or so. Leithen into Pinamonti. Pinamonti makes it 1-0 because it's Andrea Pinamonti. That's what he does. And Jay Leithen with the assist. Like I said, he can do the job in the Premier League. Just maybe not all the time. Maybe it's not. It's probably a bit early for him to be playing in the Premier League, but he's got the quality to do it. And it's Tapia there with the interception. I tell you what, I'm really glad I've given him a go as a deep line playmaker, because even though he's not necessarily getting all of the assists and stuff, he is helping with the play, but he is also doing the defensive donkey work that I wanted him to do anyway. And having someone like Feta next to him who can win the ball and get further forward, or even a James Ward-Prowse as a box-to-box, it doesn't have to be a ball winner next to him. Whoever's next to him, as long as they're willing to come back a bit and then go forward, perfect. Febre's having a shocking game so far, but everyone else is looking okay. He's only the 1-0, of course. We would like to get another goal before half-time just to settle things down a little bit more. Tapia apparently having a really good game. I'm here for it, very much so. Right, ball comes out. Badiashile intercepts it, goes to Febre. Febre now looking for Veloso. Over to Feta. Feta is just trying to find Pinamonti, couldn't quite get there, but Febre tries to head it back in. It doesn't quite work out. Febre does win the ball back there pretty well, though, and it's into Veloso now. Veloso goes round his man, and Joe Veloso makes it 2-0. It's his 5th of the season, and Enzo Feta, the lone man from Liverpool, gets the assist, and it is 2-0. And we can breathe a little bit. Not necessarily a lot, but we can breathe a little bit. Other thing, stadium has finished its renovation. It now seats, it doesn't seat that much more, to be fair. I think it's 40,000, so it's still kind of mid-range for modern day stadiums, like mid to high range. The next step, of course, will be a new stadium for Southampton. I don't think I'll be here when that happens. I think that's going to be a good 5 or 6 years down the line. Remember, the club isn't exactly flooding with money at the moment. They did give us a big transfer budget, and to be fair to us, we have tried to stick with that money and not put anything else on, like debts and things like that. There's £100 million of transfer debt. I'm fairly confident that's from the last 2 seasons. Don't think we've added to it this year. But the next step will be a new stadium. That's going to be further down the line, because I think this club is growing at an astronomical rate. Also, the club have given me a new contract, which I did sign. I tried to be a bit sneaky. It's 3-0, by the way, in case you're following the match. I did try and be a little bit sneaky. I did try and include a percentage waived of, like, being offered a manager job for compensation. I tried to include that. They weren't having it. So I think we've gone up from £58,000 to £65,000 a week, but it's another few years on the job. Of course, our contract was going to end at the end of, I think it was next season. It is no longer that. It's now a couple more seasons on top. So the club obviously very happy with the job that we're doing. Probably also spurred on by the fact that we didn't end up leaving for Liverpool. Obviously, we did the interview. We didn't commit to anything in interviews or anything like that with the media. So that probably went a long way to make the club happy. Pinamonti very close to getting another goal there. So, yeah, we've committed to Southampton, certainly for the remainder of this season. I'm thinking ahead to next season and what we'd like to do to the squad already. I'm not going to go into detail with that too much at the moment, because we need to know where we're going to finish and what the finances are going to be like for the club. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things are going at this club at the moment. It's going too well. It's going too well. I mean, I'm top of the table at the moment. I don't think for a second we're winning the league this season. I know I said we had a decent goalkeeper last season. If we had a decent goalkeeper, we'd win the league. That was hyperbolic. However, to the point that I made, we've replaced Lunin with Hoyenhal, who was already here, to be fair, but we've actually given him a chance and he's looked good. And we've brought in some more defenders. We brought in another left back. We brought in 2 more centre backs. I think the last time I checked where our defence ranked in the league and where our offence ranked in the league, offence ranked 1st, defence ranked 4th. That's a marked improvement. Before, we were top of the league in terms of goals scored, but we were solidly mid-table in terms of goals against. So we've definitely improved on that. That's something we should be really proud of. It's not just the players we brought in, the defensive players we brought in. It's the players that were already here, and it's also the tactics as well. I'm actually really surprised that we've gone to a system without a holding midfielder. Don't concede a goal. Oh, thank God for that. I really would like another clean sheet for Hoyenhal here. I'm a bit surprised that a tactic that doesn't have a holding midfielder is somehow defensively more sound. But then we have got 2 defensive-minded positions in there. And, well, they're defensive and offensive at the same time. So, actually, that combination does seem to be working quite well. It's substitute o'clock. We're going to take Veloso off. Kuchiyara's going to come on for some football. I'm actually going to bring Tamara on for a little bit as well. He can come on for Tapia. Tapia's been playing really well recently. We'll give him a little bit of a break. And we'll bring Cole Palmer on as well. He was playing really, really well. He's actually got one of the best ratings in the league. Then he kind of fell away a little bit. So let's bring him on and give him a few minutes. And then we'll make those last few substitutions a bit closer to the time. 3-0 up. We're not in much worry at the moment. We're actually going to have a 3-point gap from Arsenal at this point. Arsenal winning today by 3-0. We'll get to 85 minutes and then we'll make those final 2 changes. Right on a highlight as well, which is really good. Badiashile's actually had a good game, so I'll bring him off for Antonio Silva. And for my final trick, Enzo Feta can have a rest. Bring club captain Romeo Lavia on. Let's just pat those guys on the head, send them back out there, and let's see whether we can finish with a flurry and try and not concede a goal. I would be gutted if we don't get a clean sheet after this performance because it's been pretty solid. Moffy's just nicks it off of Kuchiyara, which is a disappointment. Nick it back, shall we, boys? Come on, let's nick it back. Come on. Don't concede, whatever you do. Nick the ball and go and score another. That would make me really happy. Please? Collins from our defence is in their defence today, by the way. Nathan Collins actually signed for Norwich, so a bit of a reunion here today. Not that I really care that much, if I'm honest. I didn't really like using him. Sure, he's a nice chap in real life. Sure, he's a decent footballer. In FM, wasn't really good enough for us. Right, Jimenez trying to find space to get a cross in. Maybe we'll settle for a short pass instead. Settles for a short pass to Palmer. Really nicely done, actually. And Kuchiyara is there. And Kuchiyara scores his 3rd of the season. Cole Palmer gets an assist. And it is 4-0. And that is game over. I'm still adamant I want a clean sheet. I will be disappointed if I don't get one. But I'll take an extra goal. That will do nicely. And Jimenez doing the smart thing here. Squeezing it through to Palmer. Palmer with the cross. It does get deflected up from Morales. Kuchiyara does make it 4. And that is game, set and match. Let's just see the game through without conceding. I'll take a 5th if we can get one. Nearly obliged. February's ended up having a decent game after I kind of said he wasn't playing very well. Very happy to see that. Tamara looking for Pinamonti here. Pinamonti tries to head it down to Palmer. That was a really nice clearance though. Lavia looking for February, but the highlight does end. And I think that is that. We have 32 shots today. My goodness, what a performance that is. I'm genuinely really happy about that performance there. The game before the Barcelona game, I can't remember who it was against now. I've literally just played it in I've literally played it today. I've not gone away and come back. I literally cannot remember who that game was against. My memory is awful. West Ham, we struggled in that game so much. It was nice to see us actually have a game there where we did pretty well. Right, next game is Man City in the EFL Cup. Let's see if we can carry this form over to that game. Fingers crossed. Let's see if we can add on to that last really good performance against Norwich with one against Manchester City. I think it's probably a little bit unlikely it'll be just as good. But here's the 11 we're hopefully going to use to get through to the next round in the EFL Cup. It is Huyen in goal, Jimenez, Antonio Silva, Badiashile and Thomas in defence. We've got Tapia and Lavia in the middle with Palmer, Veloso and Shelderup. One day I won't have to pause to say that name. Supporting Pinamonti up front. And that is my phone going off. That shouldn't be happening. 1 second. There we go. Sorted. Let's get into it and let's see whether we can get a win and progress to the next round in the competition. I was debating using Sam Roberts. Sam Roberts has signed a contract to be our backup goalkeeper, so he's not expecting to play in the cup competitions. He's just expecting the occasional game to go out and impress. I think we'll probably play him in the next round if we have a team that's not as good as Man City. We might play him in the FA Cup as well. We might play him in the occasional league game too. That is a weakened Manchester City team. No Haaland in sight. Maybe he's injured. Utter madness, but we'll see how we get on today. But yeah, I was debating it, but to be honest, I kind of want to stick with our strongest team in this cup because I think this is our, along with the FA Cup, best chance of silverware this season. I know we're top of the league at the moment, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stay there. Antonio Silva was nowhere near that at that point. Right, Lavia goes back to Thomas. Thomas now looking for options. Thomas goes back to Lavia. Into Tapia now. Tapia gets tackled, but Badiashile is there to recover. Thomas now into Shelderup. Shelderup through to Pinamonti. I feel like Pinamonti's offside here. I can see the flag up on the far side. Veloso was in and around there as well. I think that was the wrong pass to make. Or the pass was inaccurate And Pinamonti just went instinctively onto it, but I feel like that's going to get disallowed. It has been disallowed. It did look offside to me. And it will not be 1-0. If we have a look at this here, Thomas gets to shoulder up with a great idea of a pass. And to be honest, Veloso makes the run. He just makes it possibly a little bit too late. But in goes Pinamonti just to get onto the end of it, and he's miles offside. And that was our first opportunity, but we have had some since, and we now have the ball with a throw-in. Veloso goes back to Thomas. Thomas now into shoulder up, looking for options. Goes to Lavia driving forward in the middle. Lovely pinged ball out to Palmer on his right-hand side, but unfortunately couldn't make anything of it. Right, College now gets tackled by his former teammate Palmer, but actually he manages to go through. It worked out well there. Paulinho now into the box. Paulinho looking for options, and Silva manages to... Well, I thought bundle it out, but apparently a penalty's been given here. It's going to be looked at. It is going to be looked at. I really, really hope that isn't given, because that looked like a nonsense to me. Good decision, Mr. Referee. Good decision. And it is going to be, of all things, a goal kick. Right, Hoyenhal to take. It looks like it's going to be a short one here. And it is Badiashile now. Out to Thomas. Let's build up and try and get a... What a poor pass that was from Thomas. And Brennan Johnson's in, and Brennan Johnson scores. And Luke Thomas, all that good work in the first half, in that first 20 minutes. And it's Luke Thomas. I'm going to encourage the boys, but it's all down to Luke Thomas's poor pass here. He's just... Oh, that's so poor. But a real opportunity with this Man City team that they've put out. And that happens. Right, shoulder up. Goes for a worldie and just puts it wide. It's a great opportunity, but it's just wide. Antonio Silva not having a good game either at the moment. Really disappointing. The 11 they've put out is not their best 11. I will say their midfield is actually very, very good, but the rest of the team is quite average. Thomas did really well to win the ball there. Shoulder up, runs into the box. Veloso's there, and Trafford just keeps it out. We're having the chances. We are having the chances. And to demand more from Thomas. It's good to see that he's stepped up since making that mistake, but I do think, in the nicest way, he ain't going to be on in the second half. I think he's going to be coming straight off. I'm actually thinking I'm going to bring Tino Livramento on, because Tino Livramento, although he's not our backup left-back, he is someone I like to bring on if I'm bringing someone off the bench onto left-back. I don't know why, but he's my preferred option. Right, Veloso's stolen the ball back here, and Veloso gets it to shoulder up, waiting for the right moment for a pass. Runs wider, hits it in, and Cole Palmer, the former Man City man, makes it 1-1 on the brink of half-time. It's the 45th minute, and it is 1-1, and we have a chance. We have a chance. Veloso does really well to intercept there. He's had a good start to the season, Joe Veloso. Shoulder up does really well. I thought he was going to try and find a pass, but he actually waits until the last possible moment. Thinks of passing with his left foot, his weaker left foot. Palmer just runs across James Trafford and puts it in the back of the net. 1-1, game on again. Happy days. That has got to be half-time. Roberto Lavia also not very fit at the moment. Looks injured, possibly. I think we'll find out in a moment. We'll... Doing just fine on another day. We might have one kick. Go get the job done. It's half time. That's really defeatist. We'll say that we're really happy. We'll tell Luke Thomas that we're unhappy with his mistake. We'll tell Pinamonti he's not playing well enough. We'll tell Veloso that he's not doing badly, but he can do better. And we'll tell the centre backs that they need to do better. And we'll tell Hoyenhal similar as well. Right, fitness wise. Lavia, he's recovering from a knock. I think we just take him off and bring Enzo Feta on. Feta's been playing okay recently. Lavia's got a knock. Let's not risk him. Not worth the risk. Let's not risk him. I think we'll leave it for now. I'm looking at Pinamonti and Thomas as the next options to bring off. But we'll leave it for the time being. And we'll see whether we can just get more done. We're going to demand more from the boys. We had a great first half. We just let down by that goal and by Luke Thomas. But Luke Thomas did recover in that half and actually was looking... Oh, wow. I thought there was an interception there. Just swarming around Bernardo Silva there. Yeah, I thought he did well. He recovered well and started to look a little bit more active in an attacking sense, but it's not that I'm worried about. It's the defensive sense, really. Right, College coming forward now. Gets it to Paulinho. Paulinho. Jimenez does really well to intercept. Back out to Palmer now. Palmer out to Veloso. And now all of a sudden we have a counter-attack going again. It's a heavy touch from Veloso, though. Gives it away to Gravenberch. And all of a sudden, Man City coming back again. College with a heavy touch himself. Heavy touches all over the place. Right, Tapia now. Into Palmer. Palmer cuts inside. Looking for Pinamonti. He's found Pinamonti. And Pinamonti makes it 2-1. And I'm really glad I didn't sub him at half-time because he's gone and scored. Did have a goal disallowed in the first half. He's got his goal now, and we lead by 2-1. Get in, boys. Let's go. Tapia looks for the right pass, finds the right pass with Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer, who was a last-minute change for me. I wasn't going to start him. I was actually going to start with Furby, but I'm kind of glad I didn't now. But Palmer has been very, very good this season, but he has had a couple of bad games. Particularly in the club competitions. In the league, he's done really, really well. But I just thought, you know what, let's give him a chance against his former club. He hasn't really performed against his former club when I've used him in the past. But he's performed so far today, and I'm very, very happy to see it. Right, Luke Thomas is coming off. He's having the worst game of his career. And we're going to bring Tino on. Let's see whether he can help shore things up in the back line. Fingers crossed he can. We've absolutely dominated them on on the shots and stuff. Absolutely wrecked them. Right, let's get around to substitute a clock, but we'll just wait for this to play out. Right, Tapia to Silva. Better, back to Tapia. Passing it around nicely here, but let's not get too carried away. We have got too carried away. That silly little tiki-taka passing, which we're not meant to be doing, has cost us a goal. Right, demand more. Go attacking. It's Antonio Silva who is coming off. He's not completely settled in yet, Antonio Silva. So he's coming off. Make one more substitution and then we'll leave the last one for a bit as well. Badiashile is not having a good game either, really. Don't know who else. I mean, I'm looking at... Enzo Feta's not having a good game since he's come on. Right, Veloso's coming off. Cucciara's coming on. Get out there and make a difference. Right. Corner. Shoulder up. Go on, boys. Get Badiashile on the head of this. Or Cresswell as well. And Cresswell has gone and put us back ahead. It's 3-2 in the 78th minute. It's a shoulder up corner. It's Cresswell the substitute. Ball in the back of the net. Sweet as a nut. Happy days. Oh, I'm happy. Shoulder up whips it in. And Cresswell's in there. I was so worried when we had Man City drawn as our opponents. Mainly because I know there's players in the team who are expecting us to win a trophy this season. And I just thought, not again, surely. Oh, it's in! It's in! I don't know who put it in. Was it Cresswell? Was it Badiashile? Was it Pinamonti? I don't know. It ping-ponged around. It's been given. I don't know who scored it. I think it's Pinamonti. So Badiashile flicks it on. It's deflected. It's not Pinamonti. I don't even know who. I think... Is it Cresswell again? It's an own goal. It's an own goal. We lead by 2. What madness is that? We lead by 2. Oh my word. I've still got a substitution to make as well. Badiashile does well there. Livramento now to Feta. Feta back to Badiashile. Into Livramento. Livramento into shoulder up. Shoulder up. Waiting for Livramento to make the run. He has made the run. And what a pass that is from shoulder up to Livramento. Livramento trying to cut inside here. He does. Cuts back on his right. Back to shoulder up. Shoulder up. Into Palmer. And Palmer makes it 5. And we're going through to the next round in the EFL Cup. Get in there, boys. Good job. Good job all round. Pat yourselves on the back. That's very self-serving, I know that. I'm not a massive fan of doing that, to be honest. I don't know where that just came from. Livramento gets it back to shoulder up, bides his time. Thought he was going to go for the shot, but actually makes the pass to Palmer instead, and Palmer manages to squeeze it through. Gets his second of the day, and we do lead by 3. It's 5-2 overall. And I think it is substitution o'clock. I'm just working out who do I want to bring on. I'm thinking we haven't played Lewis Murray in a while. Let's give Lewis Murray a shout. Give Lewis Murray a shout. He can come back. With a box-to-box. Give him some football. I'm a bit disappointed with Lewis Murray's potential, but he's still got the ability to be a decent contributor in this team, and he has had some really good performances, but that potential disappearing overnight has just really... it's really saddened me because I was really looking forward to having a proper superstar midfielder. Not that he can't be a good midfielder for us, because he can be. Fetter's just got himself sent off here. No, he hasn't. I was convinced the way that was going, and that was a red card. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I was convinced that was going to be a red card. Right, let's just see this out, boys. We've got 4 minutes left to go. We've got a 3-goal lead. Let's not stuff it up. Right, Hoyenhal, who, to be fair to him, I'm not going to be too unhappy about the fact that he's conceded 2 today, because it's against Manchester City. We've scored a 6th. Chelderup's got his goal. I'm definitely not going to be unhappy about it. We've put 6 past Manchester City. I know it's a weak Manchester City team. And I said going in, it gives us a massive opportunity to get through this competition. And shows that Manchester City don't really care about it. That much has been proven by their 11. And Chelderup has made it 6. He's put the icing on the cake. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Just blow the whistle, ref. Just blow the whistle. Stop. He's already dead. Right, Kuchiyara looking to add a 7th here. Looking for Palmer. Imagine if Palmer got a hat-trick against his former employers. That would be insane. Right, Badiashile looking for Pinamonti. And Pinamonti has done just that. He scored a 7th. We're on fire at the moment. On absolute fire. Badiashile with a lovely touch. I'll tell you what, Badiashile, he's not got a good rating in this match today, but I've actually been quite impressed with him. I genuinely have been. He's looked really, really good. Really, really sharp. That was an alarm going off on my phone. I'm currently recording this at 7 o'clock in the morning, don't you know? I mean, beat them by 5 clear goals. A tight offside. Yeah, it was a bit. That's really well played from Pinamonti. He's timed it to perfection. Well, what a game. What a performance. Chelderup gets 3 assists. Pinamonti, unlucky not to have a hat-trick, but does have 3 goal contributions. While Palmer has 3 goal contributions. And Cresswell has a cheeky little header as well. That is utterly sensational. I did not expect, if we were going to win, I did not expect to win in that manner. But everything's coming up Millhouse in this season so far. Oh yeah, we didn't come back for the Champions League in this game. We decided to come back for those games instead. So I feel like next time we do have to come back for the Champions League. So I'm going to play through November. I might play through December. And we'll come back. I mean, there's a lot of games in December. So we might come back a bit early in December. But if not, we'll come back in January. Or we might do both. We might come back December and January. So actually, if we play through this lot here, and we come back for maybe... What was the Fenerbahce is a bit too early. Maybe we... Slavia Prague and Newcastle. Maybe we come back for Slavia Prague and Newcastle. Or even, maybe, how's this for an idea? We come back for Slavia Prague, skip Newcastle, and come back for the quarterfinal of the EFL Cup. That sounds like a plan to me. And then after that, we might come back for the last 2 games in the January transfer window. I like that. That feels like a plan. So we'll see you for 2 of the games around here. Again, it'll either be Slavia Prague and Newcastle or Slavia Prague and Villa. I haven't fully decided, actually, now that I've said that. No, Slavia Prague and EFL Cup. I've literally just said that. This is why I shouldn't record early in the morning. Slavia Prague and EFL Cup. A game around the Slavia Prague game. We'll do something like that. Just to confirm how we're doing in the Champions League, because I don't think I showed you the table before. This stupid league format. We're currently in those top 8 positions. We're currently in 8th. 2 wins and a draw from our first 3 games. Pinamonti is the top goal scorer at the moment because it's Pinamonti and that's what he does. Just to confirm how we're doing in the league, we are doing pretty well. First place, 9 wins, no losses, 1 draw against Crystal Palace, which was a weird one. Pinamonti currently the 3rd top goal scorer. I don't think Tommy Gardner's too far behind, actually. Tommy Gardner's on 6, Chelderup is on 5, Veloso is on 5 as well. So we're doing really well in that sense. Clean sheets, we're not actually too far behind. Hoyenhal is joint 3rd. He has recovered from a shaky start in the season. He's starting to look really good. Cole Palmer currently the 2nd best player in the league by 0.02 from Bruno Fernandes, who's top. But Palmer is way out in front on assists. Chelderup is 2nd as well. It's all going very, very well so far. Could we be the ones to break 5 years of Manchester City dominance? I don't think we will be. I think we will start losing games at some point. But this team at the moment, I think we've built a good one. We've built a very good one. But let's see how we do in the next episode. Fingers crossed we do as well as we have done today. But we're only going to find out then. So until then, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you have enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on there for me. And subscribe so you don't miss any of the content coming in the future. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.